Okay, we got a 96 Toyota Corolla. We are replacing the flex pipe in it. So what I've done is I went ahead and I removed the exhaust pipe. It usually sits right up through, goes all the way back. Took it off with the manifold up there, and went down to our local parts store. Just picked up a generic 2-inch welding. It is a 2x8, 2-inch diameter, 8 inches long of flex pipe. Now it's probably closer to 12 inches long with the added length on each end. So what's important here is we get the ends cleaned up. I started cleaning this end up. The compressor died right there, so I had to turn the compressor back on. But get those cleaned up. I also clean up the edges of the new one. Technically you don't really need to. You can just wipe it with some rubbing alcohol or another product to get the oil off it, but I just like to sand it. Then I clean up this pipe here, and then I'm going to bolt them both back into place lightly, so I know where to cut. I can make my marks, and then I can just tack weld it in. And once it's tacked in, I'm going to pull it back out, weld it solid around, and bolt it back in, and try and monkey dick these shields back on somehow. But that's where we're at. Little trick. I tried peeling off the sticker. Some of it came off nice, and the rest is just kind of slugging off. So you want to try and peel it at first, and then if it starts coming off messy and you're not getting anywhere with this, take a paper towel and completely soak it. Just saturate it with brake cleaner. And then pat it on top of the sticker so that the sticker gets good and wet, just like she likes it. And then you let that sit for a couple seconds. Don't clean your welds with brake clean. It releases, I could be wrong on this, but it releases gamma gas? It releases a gas when you start welding to it, and it's extremely toxic. I've heard that it actually causes immediate brain damage, or can immediately cause brain damage. I got that tip from watching Extreme 4x4 with Ian, and I've always had that in my mind. So now these stickers just come right off. What the brake clean does is it eats the glue, and by putting it on top you can immediately see the color change. And you can leave these on the pipes. A lot of exhaust shops do, and then they just fucking burn off. But I don't like to do that. I just don't want, see how nice that comes off now? I just don't like to have the burning smell driving it around and running the risk of, I don't know that it would, but it could catch fire. It would put itself out immediately, but if there's other oil and shit around, it can catch on fire, and I just don't need to be held liable for that. There. So now that we peeled the sticker off, hold on. Now that we peeled the sticker off, nice and shiny, so we're going to go over here and we're going to get these parts back into the car, bolt it up just lightly, and then we will we'll fit that up, cut it where we need to cut it, put it in, and weld the fucker solid, push this son of a bitch out of here and say goodbye. So, yeah. Alright, now that it's all fitted up and we're ready to weld it, we're just going to do a couple spots, one there, one there, one there, one there, pulling it back out of the car, and that's when we'll finish the weld. Okay, now I'm going to pull it right back out here. Get this disconnected. There. Okay. Not 100% sure why my welder keeps doing that. At initial startup, it's putting a ton of amperage and blowing through immediately. Tip's kind of fucked, but change. Yeah, that could have been it. Tip change for sure. There we go. This one here pretty much welded itself in there. So, try a new consumable and see if we can make a better weld. Seems to have liked that a little bit. By looking at this now, you can see that we got her all welded in, all the way around. Obviously it's boogered up in some spots because of the tip and whatnot, but we got it. It's not structural, so it's not really a huge deal. I'm going to try and put these covers back on. The original clamps are obviously not going to fucking work because they want to keep breaking. So, plan B, strap these suckers to it. Now this one here is big enough to fucking strap the muffler together, but it's all I got. So, I'm going to use it. Cut the extra off. There. So that's our exhaust put back together. We're going to throw it back up in the car, fire it up, hear how quiet she is, and move on. There's probably about an hour involved in me fucking with these shields. Shouldn't have taken that long. I should have just got other clamps and been done with it, but that doesn't matter. It is back together the way it kind of should be, and it's gonna run. So moving on. I started the car and made sure we had no leaks, but I wanted to show you guys something and see if I can't help you out with something here. The car starts and immediately dies and chugs. It will stay running if you feather the gas, and the second it gets a little bit warm, it runs great. First thing I did, I pulled this line off right here, and I watched this actuator. When you apply vacuum to that, it sunk in. So that's working. Now, down inside there is what they call an idle control valve. It takes 2 Phillips screws. We pull that off, we spray some carb clean or brake clean down inside the valve, spin it a bunch of times, quick shot of WD-40, we put that back on, and you've just done yourself a induction service on this particular car. So I'm going to show you how that's done right now, and we'll take this thing back out for a spin and then send it to his new owner. Just got sidetracked. If anybody knows how to stop a fucking bird from smashing into your mirror repeatedly, they get up on the truck and they keep smashing into the mirror repeatedly. And they shit all over the side of the fucking thing. Really piss me off. Any kind of bird traps, can't shoot it with a pellet gun because people would not like that, and I don't want to hit my window. I've thought about hitting them with a paintball gun, but that'd kill them too. Get a mess everywhere. They do it all day, and eventually it's going to cause pit marks in the glass. I have a stainless steel barbecue grill as well, and the little bastard does it to the grill too. That's the white valve right there. So, reach in, disconnect it. Sometimes easier said than done. If you do use pliers like I'm doing right now, make damn sure that you are very careful not to hurt the wire, because that's a whole other problem. Connector's off. Now we just crack the screws loose. Make sure you get the right size screwdriver too. The wrong size screwdriver is going to ensure that you strip the screws and have a nightmare of a time. Now this is just going to pull out. Sometimes if it's never been off before, there's glue on it. This one has been off before and there's silicone around it. All that is a magnet. Here's our wheel. There's zero movement in it at all. Now we're freeing it up a little bit. So that was the problem. We just take a little brake cleaner. I'll show you where I'm spraying this. This hole right here is the mixture hole. Now you're not looking to put a whole ton of it in there. Just enough to get this little doodad down here to start moving. Now it's only going to wiggle back and forth. On Hondas, it spins around completely, but Toyota's just has that amount of play in it. So that's your idle control right there. Now that it's clean, we just take our magnet. It doesn't matter where the position of that is, as far as turned which way, because the idle control valve is a magnet. It'll make it'll only run like shit for point something of a second, so it's not a big deal where that is. Okay, so we screwed that back in, plugged it in. Shoot a quick thing of W in there. My friend told me to do that because it gets rid of the gritty feel. Testing it out to see if it adds. I'm still testing it out to see if it makes it carbon up faster, or takes longer to carbon up, or makes any difference at all. So we're going to put our tube back on there. Be very careful with these tubes on these older cars. They like to break. So now I'm going to put the air box back into place here. Put our air tube on there. Okay, so I loosened this clamp down here so it had movement if it needed it. And this one to get it off. Put our hoses back where they need to be. That wire should actually be on top of the intake, but oh well. Now let's go back inside and see what we've done. There you go, just made its adjustment. Now it's got the high idle. Turn the AC on, the idle goes up. Turn the AC off, the idle goes down. Car fixed. Purrs like a kitten. The timing belt is kind of loud, but it was just done in December by the previous owner's mechanic. So if anything happens with it, it's on him. Other than that, this car is ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If nothing, I killed a couple minutes of your day. If anything came out of it, if you learned anything or were amused, awesome. Thank you for watching.